Hello, hello, good morning. Welcome. It's Friday. It's Friday. Welcome. Man, the season's back. Like I told you, we had the opener last night, and what a game. What a game. It ended up being an actual good game. Um, yeah. Yeah, it actually ended up being a really good game. And I was actually glad for that. Um, Ravens at the Chiefs. Ravens got the ball first, just ran it down, ran it down, ran it down. King Henry with his first touchdown as a Raven. uh, for the first touchdown of the game. Um, and it looked good. It was like, all right, this is this is gonna be a tough matchup for Kansas City. Um, and then Kansas City gets the ball and they answer just right back at it. Like Kansas City does. They march down the field. Uh, they end the drive with an end around to their new weapon in Xavier Worthy, which looked obviously it worked to perfection because they scored. And oh my God, what a draw. And we're like, I was like, oh, here we go. At first, the way both teams, after both of those drives happen, I'm thinking, it's the first game of the season. Both of these defenses are getting used to it. It is the first drive for both of them. And uh, honestly, that is kind of how it was the rest of the game, kind of, because Baltimore gets the ball. The Chiefs defense gets forces a punt. Kansas City gets the ball back. The Ravens defense forces a punt. Um, there was a fumble when the Ravens got the ball back, which led to a Kansas City field goal. Um, Kansas City's defense tightened up a little bit, turnover on downs, and that led to them getting a field goal. So now it would be 13-7. Baltimore drove uh, enough time to try to, well, they drove and they were in distance. I think it was 53 or 50. Yeah, I think it was 53. And Justin Tucker missed it, led to Kansas City getting the ball. The next play, Pat throws a weird interception to Roquan Smith. That leads to the Baltimore getting the ball back, getting a few plays in and getting a field goal. It's 13-10. And that's how we go in the half, a 13-10 game. And, both defenses taking shots, both offenses taking shots. It's what happened to start the half. Kansas City gets the ball, they drive down, get a touchdown, 20-10. Baltimore gets the ball. Kansas City's defense is rolling. They get a punt. Um, Kansas City gets the ball off that punt, and they're forced into a punt by the Baltimore defense. Baltimore gets the ball back, and they get a touchdown. It's 17-20. Um, And Kansas City gets the ball back and gets a touchdown. 27-17. Baltimore gets the ball back and they get a field goal. It's 27-20. Baltimore's defense does its job and forces a punt on the Chiefs, what would be the Chiefs' final drive. Baltimore gets the ball back. They run 11 plays, 77 yards down the field, and they get a last minute attempt to tie the game. And by the looks of it, they were going to go for two. They were going to go for the win. And Lamar throws a ball in the back of the end zone to Isaiah Likely, who was the star of the game for Baltimore. He catches it. It's called a touchdown initially. They go to replay because every touchdown was replayed, and Isaiah Likely by a toe was out of bounds, and Baltimore does not get to tie it or does not get to score and go for two for the win. The Chiefs win. No time left. End of the game. And what a game! What a game! What a game! What a game! Really exciting ending. Um, Lamar went 26 for 41, 273, and one touchdown. He only got sacked once. He did rush 16 times for 122 yards. Some of them were improvised, some of them were drawn up. Derrick Henry only rushed 13 times for 46. Seemed like he did more. And like I said, Isaiah Likely was the one who had the big day. 9 catches, 111 yards, a touchdown, could have been two at the end. Got targeted 12 times. So, I liked what I saw from both sides of the Ravens, defense and offensively. They'll be fine. I'm not worried about them after this win. Looks like they were taking advantage of a matchup. They said, you're going to key in on Andrews. We're going to go to Likely, who's a formidable tight end as well. On the other side, Patrick Mahomes went 20 for 28, 291, a touchdown and an interception. Got sacked twice. Isaiah Pacheco got the ball 15 times for 45 yards. Seemed like he got more, honestly. And on offense, 7 catches, 103 yards on 9 targets for Rashee Rice, back to where he left off last year. Travis Kelce only got targeted 4 times, caught 3 for 34. It seemed like they were not hiding Travis, but they had another game plan. They kind of, both teams kind of figured that they were going to be key ends on their tight ends, and they went and used other players around, and it worked for both of them to an extent. But both teams are going to be good. We'll probably see this matchup again, whether it's the divisional round or the championship again, like they faced off last year, for sure. All right, let's go into tonight. Tonight we do have the rare Friday night game. It is from Brazil, International Series starting off early. It is the Philadelphia Eagles and the Packers. I think the Eagles are considered the home team. We'll go through the injuries. Everybody on the Eagles is going to play except Devin White, who was announced before the Eagles left for Brazil. He will not play as an ankle injury. He's out. Isaiah Rodgers was limited in practice all week with a hand injury. He is out. So we'll get into that real quick. For the Packers, nobody is out technically. They got a few players questionable. So we'll see if they're probably going to play or be dressed. But they're not players that are technically like players that they count on. All right, so for the Eagles, obviously the Devin White thing is weird. When he was announced out, reports came out that basically said we're reporting that the Devin White towards the end of training camp was basically beat out by Nakobe Dean for that second inside linebacker job in this 3-4 Vic Fangio defense. And Nakobe Dean was set to start in week 1 anyway. So made people think that that was reported before I get into that. And then also there was another report that said that the Eagles secretly called around about Devin and see if anybody wanted him. So yeah, which makes it interesting. And it makes you think, like, is he really have an ankle injury or is he just not taking this well? There was some talk out of Tampa last year where he didn't handle situations the right way and things like that. So it makes you kind of think. We'll see how that goes from here. Isaiah Rodgers is an interesting one because Isaiah Rodgers was slated to start opposite of Slay or just take reps or take turns with Keely Ringo. Obviously, this probably means that Keely Ringo is going to start and Quinyon Mitchell is going to be in the nickel, which is fine. All right. As far as the game goes, as far as the game goes, it should be a good one, just like this one. I think we're going to see could be just like this one, early scores from people from both teams as they fill each other out. The defenses settle in. Like I said, both of these defenses, when I made the previews, they have a new coach. It's some kind of new philosophy for Philly. It isn't fully a new philosophy, but they're getting the philosophy from the guy who made it up. Before they had guys who had kind of worked under it and they had their own version of it, but they got Vic this time, so we'll see how much of an adjustment period it is. Obviously, we know that the Dolphins, it took them a couple of weeks for them to get adjusted before this defense actually looked tight, legit, and everything. And um, but we'll see. A lot of the players in this defense are familiar with some type of version of this defense. So we'll see. With the Packers, it's a whole new coordinator, whole new defense. They still kind of play as a 3-4 defense. Now they're playing a 4-3, and we'll see what kind of concepts they go into. So it might be adjustments there for both defenses. Offensively, I think it's just knocking off the rust. I think Jordan Love did play like a series in the preseason, but it might have been like week 2 of the preseason. So we'll see. Um, I think this is going to be a little bit of feeling out, kind of like I thought this game with the Chiefs and the Ravens would be. I think it'll be a little bit of the same, and it might look a little bit of the same. Where, like I said, first drive, whoever gets the ball drives down, gets a touchdown or a field goal, and the other team will answer, and then it'll settle in, I believe, into everybody kind of settling in because you start getting these snaps, you start filling each other out, seeing how everything is going, and then you kind of second half it might look a little better. But I do think this is going to be a close game. This is going to be a battle, just like the game last night. So I expect it to be very, very competitive, very entertaining. And obviously, I'll be watching at the edge of my seat because my team's in it. And I mean, I don't think this means anything if they lose as far as the Eagles or either team, Packers. I don't think it means anything if they lose, whoever loses. I think both of these teams will be fine. I think that'll be shown on the on the game. Same thing that I said after, earlier when I reviewed last night's Kansas City Ravens opener. I think both teams are going to be fine, and there's no need to like panic for the fan base or anybody else who likes these teams. They showed that they're going to be good, competitive, and there's nothing to worry about. I think that'll happen here too with these teams. No matter who who wins or lose, they're going to be fine. There's still the rest of the season. It's an early loss to good teams because both of these teams are good. Same thing as last night's matchup, but I'm interested to see Jordan Love again, see if he can get out again to kind of keep doing what he was doing at the end of last year with his offense, his young receivers. I'm also curious on the other side too, the offense for Philly with Kellen Moore, obviously with the weapons that they've had. Jalen can, bounce back. And defensively, I'm a big proponent of defenses in general. I just like defensive schemes and things like that. I'm interested to see how this new Packer scheme looks and also how Philly adjusts to having the guy who created the scheme that they've been kind of using for the last couple of years in Vic Fangio. So, but tonight on the Peacock. So just a reminder for everybody. It's not going to be on national TV exclusively on Peacock. But yeah, guys, that is it. Enjoy the game tonight and then enjoy the weekend. I would preview the weekend, but it's week 1. So got a lot going on. It's a Friday game. If there wasn't a Friday game, I would preview everything, give you the winners and all that. But we'll get back to that next week. We'll come back Monday. We'll recap the weekend and enjoy the college football, enjoy the pro football. And hey, football's back, baby. Peace out.